everyone, and welcome to the latest episode of Let's Be Real. On today's show, we're going to be covering Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Runtime, which is very long, the box office report for the weekend. John Wick 5 is apparently in development, the early reactions for Transformers Rise of the Beast and Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. The all-female Fast and Furious spin-off movie is in the works. Jonathan Majors apparently cut from marketing for season 2 of Loki. I'll be wrapping up the final week of Canes and just looking at all the big winners and losers from that. Our reaction to the Barbie trailer. And we'll also be looking at the box office battle between Barbie and Oppenheimer. And then we'll finish off with further details from Quentin Tarantino's final film. So yeah, I'm James. I'm going to be your host for today's episode. I have the privilege, I have the honor to be basked in the presence with Nayan. How are we doing, mate?
Oh, you know how to do an intro for me, eh?
It keeps getting longer and longer. I got to find more adjectives, but yeah.
If there's a crowd here, they'll be going wild. Doing good, Brent. Doing good considering
The weekend?
the weekend, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a Blues one, which is great, but my team, the Warriors, they had a chance to win the game. You know, they were down. I can't remember. I think they were down about 16 points with 10 minutes to go, and then we had some momentum going our way. We scored a try, and then all these pitch invaders came and started running through the field. So
Is this in Australia, the game?
No, in Napier.
Napier?
New Zealand, yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I thought they only had Mount Smart games.
They're like touring the country. They
Oh.
have some games around the country.
Oh, interesting. Okay, yeah.
So all these not players, but people pitch invaded, and that halted our momentum. And then we scored 2 quick tries after that, and then with like less than 30 seconds to go, we like spread the ball wide, and then we went and scored, and I jumped out of my seat, and I was like, yes, we finally won this. And then I went to the TMO, which is a third match official, which is video ref, and they pulled it back, and they disallowed the try because one of our players that passed the ball before the guy that scored held back a player's jersey. So I now hate that certain player. I'm not going to name his name, but I never liked him to start off with, and that just proved it, because even if he hadn't done that, we still would have scored. And man, he's going to get roasted at trainings come this week.
Yeah. Oh, that reminds me of New Zealand at the FIFA World Cup. Have you heard about this?
Which one?
It's the one where we didn't lose a single match. We drew with everybody.
I think it was like 2009 or something.
Yeah, and we were up 1-0 against, I think it was Italy. It was some really amazing team. And they got a penalty shootout like right in front of the goal because one guy had held the jersey of another player. And if he hadn't done that, I think it was like within the last 5 minutes. So we could have beaten that team and actually gone to quarterfinals. And New Zealand, we're not good at soccer.
We're not.
Yeah, it's not our sport. We are a rugby nation. But
to make any final for soccer would just been a massive deal. Like guaranteed, if we made the quarterfinals, there'd be a parade on Queen Street.
Yeah, it would have been crazy. Yeah, but that one reminds me of that, and I think he got ridiculed a lot. So I can't imagine what this guy's going to go through. As we are a rugby nation, it's Oh,
well, at least Blues won, and they're third on the table now with 1 week remaining. So
I mean, we're going to a Warriors game this weekend, so we'll be able to update next week's Let's Be Real on the experience together. Maybe I can do the Warriors part this time.
You can kick things off.
Yeah, I'll start it and you finish it. Just give me a score, see how I'm doing. And then you can cover the NBA playoffs if you want.
Oh, yeah. I mean, what? I think I watched a bit of that game yesterday. Was it Celtics got like literally in like the last second, like a rebound and a tip in to like
such an insane ending
to like tie it 3-3.
Yeah.
And they're coming back from 3-0 down as well.
And it's never been done.
Never been done.
Yeah.
Game 6 tomorrow.
Game 7 tomorrow.
7 tomorrow.
Yeah, it's the final one of that series. But yeah, I think teams that have been down 3-0 in a series, they have never lost, and that's against like 150 times it's happened. So if Heat are the first team out of 150 in NBA history, that's going to be pretty big.
Is it in Miami or Boston?
The last one, it's in Boston. So Celtics have a good chance. And last game 7 they had there, the Sixers lost.
I was not going to bring that up. You brought that up.
The Rugby World Cup, when is that? That's this year, right?
Yeah, it's this year.
Yeah, no, I'm excited for it. When's that starting? Is that like October, September?
I think, I can't remember the dates because it changes all the time. I think it's around about that's September October.
That's exciting. Those are games that I'll watch with you for sure.
That is when sports games is going to get very.
Oh yeah, guys. If New Zealand go out in the pool stage,
there's not going to be a Let's Be Real for a long, long time. It'll just be James doing a solo.
Yeah. He would need to take a good long 6-year sabbatical.
Yeah.
If they lose in the quarterfinals, I'd say that's about a few weeks sabbatical.
Depends on who, yeah.
I think semifinals you could respect it depending on the team.
Yeah.
Because that happened last time. But Ian Foster, he's coaching this one.
He is coaching this one.
All right, so we're going to lose in the quarterfinals, guys. So prepare for a 3-week absence from Nan in September, October.
Should be good.
Should be good. We're going to talk about movies now because this is movie games. It's not sports games.
One day.
We'll branch out one day. All right. But yeah, before we get started, if you'd like us to cover any specific topics or you got any questions, hit us up with a DM on Twitter. Maybe it'll feature on the show. If you enjoy our show and, you'd like to support us, subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Twitter, go check out our website, moviegames.com. We do much more content there. We cover box office predictions and analysis. We do physical media stuff like 4K reviews, keep up to date with the releases of 4Ks coming out. We also do awards season coverage as well. You can also subscribe to our email newsletter to keep up to date with our content on a weekly basis. So thanks, everyone, for joining us today on the show. We're going to get to it now. So we'll kick things off. The runtime has been revealed by IGN for Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1. So it continues the trend of very long blockbuster movies. So we got 2 hours and 36 minutes, but that's without the credits. So you're probably looking around like 2 hours 45 in total.
Mm-hmm.
What are your thoughts on such a long runtime for Part 1 of the overall finale for Mission Impossible?
It seems to be the trend nowadays with franchises ending, having these long run times. I mean, Endgame had it, but that's not quite like it. It's like ending a saga,
Yeah.
It's like Endgame and Infinity War, they had it. Fast and Furious has it. There was Bond, No Time to Die had that as well.
For finales,
yeah. And now Mission Impossible has that. I'm all bored for it. I mean, Fallout was fantastic, and if this film can replicate anything that film did, which it looks like it, I'm all for it. I mean, did Top Gun have a similar or close-ish runtime? I think it did. Let's just say it did.
I think it was more like 220, 230.
So
it's close enough, but yeah,
it's fine. But extra 10 minutes of Tom Cruise doing fucking stupid stunts. I'm all for it. Yeah, looking forward to it.
Oh man, I think it's going to be so good. Just the team behind it, Christopher McQuarrie, and he contributed to the screenplay of Top Gun, which I believe is a valid contributor to the quality of that movie. And he did Fallout, wrote that, directed it. I think the Mission Impossible team are completely on their game to get more time with, like you said, Tom Cruise doing, crazy stunts in real life. No green screen or anything like that. I like it could be longer. I wouldn't care.
Yeah.
I do believe that I have a story to justify the long runtime as well, just because this is a part 1, and it's clear that they're going to have a vision for part 1 and part 2 as a one story. So I think this sounds like it will justify its long runtime. And if these are the final 2 like Mission Impossible movies, then I want them to be as long as possible because they kind of stand alone in action films these days.
Yeah.
You don't really get them coming along. You get stuff like John Wick and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, they're just very refreshing in terms of like blockbuster stuff.
Probably end up getting rebooted at some point.
I don't know if I'd want to reboot.
Or like, what they do with James Bond, and Batman and Spider-Man, cast different actor and like they'll keep the franchise going.
Even like Bourne. Remember how they did
Jeremy Renner.
Yeah. Which was not good.
The first 3 Bournes are the best.
Bourne Ultimatum was great. I love that movie. Yeah.
But I need to get those on 4K, just the first 3 at least, because I always enjoy those films, watching it with my dad.
They're enjoyable, yeah. They're just great action movies.
Yeah.
We need more movies like that. I hope like Mission Impossible can be like pave the way for more like that. Yeah. So if Mission Impossible does really good at the box office, like I'm talking like really good, like 800 plus, that would be great for Mission Impossible. Paramount, they did, Top Gun last year.
Yeah.
And then they'll do Mission Impossible this year. That's a great, indicator on what quality action movies can really do for you.
I think if Mission Impossible gets $1 billion and Dead Reckoning Part 2 gets $1 billion as well, I think Paramount would want to sign Christopher McQuarrie on some sort of deal to just make movies for him.
Yeah, he'd be like...
And just give him like creative freedom.
Yeah, 100%. I think he'd earn that at that point, especially if they were like really highly acclaimed. He would get into like almost, I'm not going to say it to the exact kind of creative freedoms that Denis Villeneuve or Christopher Nolan would experience, or Martin Scorsese for that matter.
He'll be like, if he can do that, like back to back to back, he'll be in line for questioning, as in like we can regard him as those same sort of tiers. Because like he hasn't quite had a dud, but he's like he literally made a movie that rejuvenated the cinema. And then if he backs it up with Mission Impossible and backs it up again with Dead Reckoning 2, like you can't not say that he's not in that conversation of one of the all-time greatest of this generation.
That's very interesting. Because obviously when you talk about directors working today or directors of this generation, people like you're talking like Steven Spielberg, Martin Scorsese, they're not part of that. They're in their own category and they'd obviously rank above.
Yeah. But
Christopher Nolan, Denis Villeneuve, they're the kind of ones that are associated. They're at the top.
Yeah.
I think like people, like Joseph Kosinski as well, he has potential to be there because he's the one that directed Top Gun Maverick. McQuarrie was just the writer.
Yeah.
I think someone like James Gunn as well could enter that tier 1 too, depending on how the DCU comes out. But Christopher McQuarrie, the tier 1, I think it's at the levels of Nolan and Villeneuve. Could you, if they both come out very well, like some all-time great action movies, could you put Christopher McQuarrie on the tier of Nolan and Villeneuve? Would you be comfortable at that point by then? I
would be too, because if you think about it, at what point in both Nolan's and Villeneuve's career, like what movie were you like, yeah, they're on that tier? I feel for Nolan, Memento was the first one where everyone was like had eyes on him, same with Prestige. Yeah. And then I think it was The Dark Knight that cemented it, and then Inception the year after definitely cemented that as in tier 1. For Villeneuve, do you agree with that?
Oh, I don't know. Oh,
like just cemented he was tier 1. Like those two films back to back.
Yeah, I mean Inception came out 2010 and Dark Knight 2008. But I mean to have like those two movies that you did within a 2-year span is very insane because both are like regarded like some of the best of the 2000s.
Yeah.
So I would actually agree with that. I'd have to think on a little bit more.
And then for Villeneuve, thing was Sicario that really he did Enemy as well, but I think Sicario was the more mainstream one that pulled people in, and then he did stuff like Arrival, and then when he did Blade Runner 2049, that was boom at tier 1. And then,
I think Blade Runner was the one. Yeah, that's kind of cemented it. Yeah. Because I think Prisoners is the first one.
I forgot. How could I forget Prisoners?
Yeah, because Prisoners and Enemy came out on the same year. Yeah, which is pretty insane because both are great. And then obviously Sicario was good, and then the year after that it's Arrival. Yeah, like that's a back to back again, and then Blade Runner, and then obviously Dune and stuff like that. So that's where he's gotten that. Christopher McQuarrie though, he's only directed 4 movies so far, and 2 of them are Mission Impossible 5 and 6. So I think
you could say 6 is his Dark Knight, or not quite Dark Knight, but like his Prisoners,
Yeah. Eyes are on him now. Now he's got to deliver. I would say that he needs one movie that is at the level of like say Mission Impossible Fallout outside of the Mission Impossible franchise, and then he can be regarded in that. It's a very exclusive club.
Yeah.
We should do that though. Like write a piece and see who's like the tier 1 in terms of this generation of directors. That'd be very interesting to put them into tiers,
or even like a podcast special.
Yeah, because I think there could be like 1 or 2 that it could actually fit inside that tier 1 category.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Stay tuned for that, guys.
Yeah. We'll think on that one. We're gonna go to the box office results of the weekend now. So obviously, The Little Mermaid came out. And so it's Memorial Day in USA tomorrow. So we have the estimates for the 4-day weekend and the 3-day weekend. I'll read them both out. So The Little Mermaid came in at number 1 with 95.5 million for the 3-day weekend, 117.5 for the 4-day weekend. Fast X came in number 2 with 23 million for the 3-day weekend, 28.7 for the 4-day weekend. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 came at 3rd for 20 million for the 3-day and 25.3 million for the 4-day. At 4th, we got Super Mario Bros. Movie. They got 6.3 for the 3-day weekend and 8.3 million for the 4-day weekend. And then The Machine at number 5 for 4.9 million for 3 days and 5.8 million for the 4 days. Any thoughts about these results?
I worked backwards in terms of 3, 2, 1.
Okay.
Guardians.
Mm-hmm.
I still think it's a really fantastic result. You know, if it ends up making that 23 over 4 days, even 19 on its own for 3 days, that's actually really good for its fourth weekend.
It's 4th weekend.
Fourth weekend. That's actually really good.
Yeah, it's 25 million for the 4-day.
Yeah, that's actually really fantastic for it. Fast X, huge drop for its second.
Yeah.
Like fucking stupidly massive considering it made 60 something.
Yeah, I think it was 67, 68.
67. Boom, dying franchise right there. Vin Diesel, don't even think about doing spin-offs.
We'll get to that soon.
We will get to that soon, but yeah. Yeah, it's just showing that I think people are a bit over the extravagancy of Fast and Furious franchise. I think they just want it to go back to its roots, which is street racing. I see comments everywhere online, like Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram.
Don't say Facebook like that.
And Instagram, you know, just saying like how far it's come from what it actually was. I mean, Fast and Furious 5, 6, 7, that's fine because you could consider it as like a mini series. But I think with just each installment is just trying to top each other, and I think it's just getting a bit too ridiculous for car enthusiasts, which is what this film is.
Yeah,
I'm actually really surprised that Need for Speed hasn't continued theirs.
The movies,
the
Aaron Paul one.
Yeah, the Aaron
was
Paul
that good? I never saw it. I didn't hear good things about it.
I don't think it was good, but I was like, you know, it's just like, oh yeah.
Well, we got Gran Turismo coming out, so perhaps that could get the people back in.
Could. Yeah, but I expect Guardians to overtake Fast X next week in the box office.
Yeah.
And as for The Little Mermaid, I was not expecting that at all.
You're expecting lower or higher?
Lower. I was expecting around about the 60s, you know. This opening weekend, it beat both Guardians and Fast and Furious, which is like box office, you know, sort of stability. It just goes to show that nostalgia rules. And, you know, it is, I'm not going to say fantastic, but it's actually a pretty decent film, you know, that is somewhat faithful to the original from what we discussed in our review.
Yeah.
So clearly the shows, and it's getting positive reactions as well. So hopefully we see a less of a drop come next week because, you know, second week always matters more than first.
Yeah. Well, I'll be on the contrary to you with this because I was not surprised. I'm very, I'm no longer surprised by the success of Disney live action remakes. I think when it was like Beauty and the Beast opened to like 174 million 3-day weekend, I was just mind blown by that.
Wait, sorry, 100 and what?
74 or something like that.
Fuck.
It was over 170 million for the 3-day weekend. I was like, that's nuts. And got over 500 million total, and obviously made over $1 billion by the end of it. So these things don't really surprise me. I think I was expecting pretty much basically in line with this. The Little Mermaid, it got an A cinema score, so you know I think we can expect pretty good drops with this. I think around the 50 to 55% next week. Just because the target audience for it, you know, obviously young girls and, you know, the female demographic, there's not many movies that support that demographic specifically over the coming weeks, you know, Spider-Man, Transformers, Flash. I guess Elemental may take something away, but I think Little Mermaid is primed for a good long domestic run. The interesting side of it is that it got around like 180 million worldwide. So you're talking like 60
Oh, did it only get 180 million
worldwide, yeah. So
That's pretty bad.
You're looking at like 60 million. It's bombing overseas.
That's really bad. Holy
yeah.
shit.
You're talking about like the America doubling it, which is crazy, and that massively hinders its performance. If these numbers are something that go by, I know that China was doing, it's like an all-time low for like Hollywood. Maybe not the lowest, but definitely around that area.
Are they still on COVID restrictions over there? Can't remember.
I know
when we went on a trip to Hong Kong, it was restricted.
Yeah, it was definitely restricted. I don't know the restrictions now, but I think there is still some impacts from COVID with China. And I know Hollywood's not doing well. It's just this whole political thing between China and US relationship, whatever. We won't get into that. But yeah, man, bombing overseas incredibly. This might, limit it to 700 million tops.
Damn, I thought you were going to say something like, because I was about to ask, what's the worldwide? And I was expecting something like, I don't know, something stupid like 400 to 500 million. I'm like, oh shit.
No. This is, this isn't going to get $1 billion, straight up.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty clear from this weekend. But it's doing well in the US, and we'll see if it can warrant a sequel.
Yeah.
I don't think it can.
Well, Little Mermaid 2 is pretty shit, because I do remember that movie.
Oh, yeah, they do have a Little Mermaid too. Yeah.
But I was going to say that you were very close in your long range. You guessed 86 million.
Yeah.
On the weekend.
Yeah. So not too far off. I think the good word of mouth is spread throughout later on in the weekend. As for Fast X, like it's just Fast X, and everything to what you illustrated before. The audience, they're not there to rewatch it. They're not there to spread the word of mouth to watch it. I think I won't say anything about the spin-offs now, because we are going to go into that a little bit later on in the show. But yeah, it got 23 million for the 3-day, and Guardians got 20 in its 3-day. So it's 3 million difference, and it's been out for twice as long.
Yeah.
Which says everything you need to know. It's made 500 million worldwide.
That's good.
It's good, and I think it can get to about, it'll be between 650 and 750 total gross. It's not good on a 340 million budget, but the worldwide is just gross of it's helping it stay alive.
Yeah.
Something Little Mermaid doesn't have, but yeah.
And Diesel, that ain't gonna be a trilogy, mate.
Yes, exactly. I think we can confirm now that there won't be a trilogy, just because this movie will lose a ton of money. Guardians, though, 20 million, 25 million. It's just holding. I think it dropped 38.7%, if my memory is correct. May have to go back to the data on that one. But yeah, under 40% for this drop is just insane. It's holding on very well. It will pass Guardians 1 now. I wasn't too sure on the opening weekend. So we'll have to see if it can cross the second one. I still don't think it can, just because Spider-Verse, Transformers, and Flash, all consecutive weeks, all taken away, potential like people going to that movie. But still, I think it's successful. It's crossed 700 million worldwide. I think it can get to 850. It might be able to squeeze that out, and I think that's a good run. If it gets to 800, I think Marvel should be very happy, and they should have done something to keep going. But he's clearly going to DC. Not going to cover Mario because I've covered it like 7 weeks in a row.
Still really good that it's making 8 million.
It's out on digital as well, so I don't know why. Like, it's
a beast.
It's a beast, yeah. All right. Well, that's enough of the box office. Something that succeeded at the box office, John Wick 4. And apparently that was going to be the last one. We're not going to spoil it here, even though it's been out for a while. You should go see it. And if you did get spoiled by the show, you have no reason to complain to us, because it's been out long enough. But I'm still not going to spoil it for you guys. Anyway, that movie felt like... Okay, Nan might skip 5 minutes ahead. But that movie felt like it was going to be the end. I didn't feel it personally, but, from the comments of the director and the studio and how it ended, it seemed like that might be the end of the franchise and whatnot. But the fourth one did very well at the box office. I think got over like 450 million. Great for the franchise. The entire franchise itself is $1 billion franchise now. And, it seems like, Lionsgate's moving forward. John Wick 5 is in development. What are your thoughts on this?
But hard not to give away spoilers, to be honest, in my opinion.
All right. Well, disclaimer: skip 5 minutes ahead. We're going to talk about it now. Go.
Okay. Well, if you haven't skipped 5 minutes here, then it's your fucking fault.
Yep.
At the end of John Wick 4, he dies. You were warned if you're still listening. You were warned. I even paused. But yeah, he dies. There was a whole funeral ceremony and whatnot, and it just seemed like a fitting end for that character. After going through so much, and he's finally reunited with his wife in heaven, probably.
And dog.
And dog, yes. Except he did leave behind his Staffy, his second dog.
Oh right, man.
But, well, she'll be fun, or he. But yeah, it just seemed like a perfect fitting end for it. So I don't really know where they're trying to go with this one. Only way I can see it is maybe if it's like a prequel to John Wick 1, as in like when we get John Wick in his like prime, where he's like making a name for himself as this like, oh shit, you hear his name and you fucking quiver.
Yeah.
What is it? Baba Yaga? Booby Yaga? The boogeyman? I don't
Baba
know.
Yaga or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Which is actually a pretty cool concept, seeing John Wick in his earlier days, like trying to like where we see him make his name like this such a intimidating and fearful name, where like you just hear the word Wick and all the villains are just like, no, I'm done.
Yeah, they're out. Yeah.
But if it was a sequel or a continue on from John Wick 4, I think it would just feel somewhat cheap. Just like, no character can ever die, really. At least with James Bond, they're going to cast a new actor and it's going to be different to what Craig's stuff is. So it's somewhat different. It's more of a reboot.
Yeah.
But if they're just going to continue on, it's just like, this guy cannot die. I mean, he fell down multiple stairs, still didn't die.
Landed on that car from Fast Toy stuff.
Yeah, gets shot and stabbed and whatever, falls off a fucking building and just can't die. But I think the best way to do this is probably to continue on with the spin-off Ballerina, Ana de Armas is one.
Yeah.
Tell a different story from different perspective, or go to a prequel where we see John Wick climbing through the ranks of the Continental.
Interesting. If it was a prequel, would you have Keanu Reeves in the role? Or would you recast? Say it's like his starting days.
I think you have to recast. I mean,
Adam Driver. Put Adam Driver in there.
Because they actually do look so similar.
Yeah.
I mean, it's very hard to imagine John Wick without Keanu Reeves,
Yeah.
But it makes sense to recast if it is a prequel, but you just can't have John Wick without Keanu Reeves unless you do some de-aging or makeup or something like that,
Yeah.
I would like to. Actually, I wouldn't. I was gonna say I'd like to try them see de-age Keanu Reeves and make him younger, but then I'm like, if we're getting that throughout a whole movie, it's just gonna be off-putting if it's not done right.
Yeah, exactly.
Fuck, they're in a rock and a hard place, eh?
Yeah, it's gonna be very, very interesting. The thing that I have a problem with, and again, spoilers, skip another 5 minutes ahead because it's my turn to talk now. The problem is that the people at John Wick's funeral were there when he died. So I could buy into the concept of he died alone and then they saw his grave and they came to the funeral or whatnot, because he could have just lied or faked it pretty easily. But they saw him die on the stairs and they obviously would see him be put in the ground. I don't know how he could come back. Yeah, as for the prequel, I would love to see that. I think that's a great idea. But if it's called John Wick,
you're welcome.
Yeah, exactly.
Credit movie games. Thanks.
John Wick 5. If it's a sequel though, I don't know how it can work. My main issue is that at the end of the fourth one, I was very I was like, oh my, he's dead. Like, oh, they're not going to carry it on. I'm like, I was so confused because it didn't feel very climactic at all.
It just happened literally. You see him on the stairs and see him on the stairs in one scene, and then it cuts to black, and then boom, you see the tombstone.
Yeah, exactly. It reminded me a lot of The Dark Knight Rises, where he's got 3 of the most important people, and it's just a very small, secluded funeral, and it's kind of in a secluded place, not at a graveyard or anything. It was very similar to that in the way that it was shot and felt and stuff like that. Not felt, sorry, I'll take that back. I felt Batman, Bruce Wayne dying, even though you really didn't. But I felt that moment.
Yeah.
Because you got Alfred crying and stuff like that. And there's just the music's there. This one was just kind of.
It's just like, boom,
Yeah. And I was like, oh, okay, he's dead. So I don't really know how a sequel can like move forward unless they do something crazy with it. I don't know how he fakes it out. And, back to your point about how if he does come back, it kind of puts into the perspective of this character can survive anything. I feel like we're already at that point. I mean, like you said, like he jumped out the building and stuff like that.
But at least in this fourth one, you could tell that they were like taking the mickey out of that. Have him fall down all these stairs and stuff and keep getting up. Like you can laugh at that because you're just like, oh, okay, like they're actually like taking the piss because there was not quite a criticism, but like a talking point off the third one. So they obviously doubled down on that. But to actually kill him off and have the tombstone and everything, it's just like, nope, sorry.
That the line stops there.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I like the idea when they take the mickey out of it and like he just survives ridiculous stuff, but it's realistic as well in a sense.
Yeah.
But if you're gonna show him dying and a funeral and stuff like that, then kind of commit to that. Yeah. But I think it's gonna be interesting if they do go forward. But I'm not gonna complain at all because it's more John Wick, it's more action and it's the good stuff that we want from action cinema, as we're talking about Mission Impossible before. I think it's whatever direction they go story wise, the action's gonna deliver. Yeah.
Cinematography as well.
Always cinematography. We're going to talk about some movies that, or a movie that is not, one that you can rely on for quality. And that's the Transformers franchise. I took a bit of a gamble on this podcast.
You did. It's paying off.
It might pay off. We've been talking about Transformers, and I know Nan had this in his least anticipated.
I did.
I keep the receipts, by the way.
I think it was the top one. It was my least anticipated.
And The Flash, don't forget that, by the way.
The Flash is different, though, because it was more based on Ezra Miller. You fucking cunt.
Anyway, so Transformers Rise of the Beast has been played for some people, and reactions have come out. Paramount, they seem pretty confident about this one, allowing the social embargo to come out pretty early, and I think reviews come out 4 days before release, by my memory. The reactions are good. Some are saying that, what they did right with Bumblebee, they amplified it here and they did that again. Some are saying, it's best in the franchise or it's up there with the first one and Bumblebee. The 90s action is great, the vibes are good and whatnot. And that's really what I said when, you said Transformers was on your least anticipated. I'm like, I thought they might be going a good direction after Bumblebee, because I think we can both admit that was a good movie.
Yeah.
Solid, especially when you consider all the Transformers movies. And I thought they might be on the right track with this one. And, the trailers came out, and I'll be the first to admit, it didn't really give me any faith in what I had said there, because like you said, I think a few weeks ago, it's like just animals, robots kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it sounds like kind of goofy and silly and all that kind of stuff.
Beastbots.
Yeah, I had a feeling it might be okay or enjoyable because it's different and because of what Bumblebee did. And it sounds like this reaction actually kind of attests to that. Like, so what do you think? And, another question on top of that, is there a little bit of excitement building up or still cautious about it?
Which one do you want me to address first?
What do you think about the reactions?
Yeah, it's good. It's positive.
Yeah.
I'm still going to take with a grain of salt, because it's mixed off. It's not 100% critics,
Yeah.
For all we know, those critics that are praising it was the one that praised every other Transformers film. So until actual reviews start coming out and we start seeing a score and whatnot, then I guess we can take it a bit more seriously. But just based on those reactions, good. I'm happy to be proven wrong.
Yeah. Can't complain at a good movie, can you?
Yeah. Exactly. Especially if it can live up to the heights of the first one, because that first one was so enjoyable.
Yes, it is.
I'm guessing what my comment just then answer to your second question is that, I am a little bit excited for this one now. I mean, I always love the design from the trailers of the Transformers, how it's more original one to the cartoon.
Yeah.
That's one thing I really liked about Bumblebee. Well, it's something that brought over into this film as well, so that's going to help.
Yeah.
But yeah, seeing these reactions, it gets me a little bit excited and more intrigued to see like how could this top the first in Bumblebee.
Yeah.
So yeah, June 20 something, late June.
Yeah, it's June 20 for us. It comes out,
Yeah.
I think, in between Across the Spider-Verse and The Flash for America.
Mhm.
And we have to wait 2 more weeks, unfortunately.
It's fine. We're getting Flash soon anyway.
Yes, we see that next week. So that's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to that one. I know you're not because it's in your least anticipated.
Fuck you. That was before the trailer came out too.
Hey, I am allowed to. You had that on your least anticipated. It stays with you. I don't even remember my own least anticipated. I know Mario was there, and that's justified.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't know the other one.
I can't remember either.
We'll go back and look at the receipts. I'm sure there's one where I fumbled there. But Transformers wasn't one. I decided to gamble on it. I cannot say that I've actually been excited for it, even after the trailers when I was kind of putting up an argument against Nayan here and being like, you know what, it looks a little bit fun. Might actually be kind of good. I was saying that with the hope of it being good. It didn't look that good. But these trailers, they get me excited. Because I was somewhere in the middle between excitement and dread. So this kind of puts me more on the excitement side of things. Yeah. But yeah, no, I think, it's a good sign for the Transformers franchise, and it needs to like progress and like from Bumblebee. It can't just be, or we get the standalone Transformer movie that's great or really good or whatever your preference is, and then go back to the shitty Transformers things again.
Is this the first one without Michael Bay, like Transformers, excluding Bumblebee? Because I know that wasn't Michael Bay.
Yeah, I know this is the director of Creed 2, and he hasn't really directed much stuff that I know on besides that. I think he's directed like 3 things.
So maybe if this one's good and Bumblebee was good, then Michael Bay was the issue with Transformers.
He did the first one.
He did, but then he did like 4 or 5 others after that.
I still think the third one, Dark of the Moon, I think that's solid. That one gets too much crap, in my opinion. But yeah, no, I think I am looking forward to this one. But you know what I'm looking forward to more? Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse.
Oh, fuck yeah, I'm so excited.
Were you wondering where I was going with that?
I was thinking, this isn't our topic. So is he going to say Barbie or Oppenheimer? But yes, I cannot wait for that. Holy shit. Wednesday, 2 days from now.
Yes, we see it in a couple of days. So the Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse reactions are out as well. I don't know when the reviews are going to be out for it, but the reactions are amazing. A lot of them saying better than Into the Spider-Verse. I don't know how that's possible. Visual masterpiece, best Spider-Man movie. I saw one that said best movie I've seen. Some people are saying I'm going to cherish this for the rest of my life. Just amazing, really, really big kind of reactions, and people like, how did these guys do it? And they're saying this, the story's darker, it's more emotional. It's amazing for the Spider-Man lore and stuff like that. Just really like crazy kind of reactions. I don't think we see these kind of reactions where it's like they say such big statements like this in much movies. So I know this has made you much more excited and much more hyped. So I don't need to ask that question. But does this get you more excited?
That's the same fucking question, cunt.
That's the joke. I just want to know how excited you are now following these reactions. Because I know you're very excited to begin with. What is it at now?
Because I think it was number 3 on my most anticipated. I think it's fully justified now.
Yeah.
Oh, could have beaten if I saw these reactions.
This might be the movie of the year.
I reckon. I think it could have probably leaped Oppenheimer in terms of my...
No. Could leap Barbie, right? I don't know why that's number 1.
But I had to go with the outlier there.
No, you didn't. Your outline was Dune not being part of your top 10. And you will suffer a lot.
Yeah, but that was... Yeah. I probably will. I'm excited for it now. I did say that when the trailer came out.
He did.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck yeah, I can't wait. I mean, if I could delete tomorrow, then 100% I'm so excited.
But we're seeing the Boogeyman tomorrow.
No, we're not. I don't want to go.
Just swap the event dates around. Come on. Sony and Disney, yeah.
Oh, I actually can't wait. I mean,
Oh man,
you know,
yeah.
seeing these reactions, just like, I don't want to wait anymore. I want the score to come out so I know how good it is.
Yeah.
And I just want to go and fucking see it. I've seen a comment where it's like the best live action, or not live action, best animated film ever.
I've seen that too. Yeah.
And like, I think you and I can agree that Into the Spider-Verse is up there. Same with Lion King.
Yeah.
You know, like Lion King alone is like always been like that for me.
Put Soul in there, and that's top 3, I reckon. That's what I would say. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you know, like Lion King for me was always like the Dark Knight, you know, of animated, like that's about set.
Yeah.
And the fact that people are saying, and it's not just like one or two, like people are saying it's best animated film. It's a lot of people.
Yeah.
So fuck, I cannot wait to see it like surpass Lion King, you know. In terms of the visuals, I think we always knew how good that's going to be.
Seems like they've upped the game.
They have upped
I don't know how, but seems like they have.
I guess, you know, you have more cartoon styles to work with and whatnot. I'm excited for that. The story being a lot personal. We saw that in the trailers, like how there's big stakes now for Miles.
Yeah.
And like, I'm hoping that there's consequences as well. To like, because not if he suffers some big consequences, it will help with his growth as a character.
Yeah.
And the fact that this is like a 2-parter as well. It's going to lead into Beyond.
March next year.
It's just, if this film knocks out of the park, and I think if Beyond is as of the similar quality as his previous two, I think this is one of the best trilogies of all time. And it could possibly rival I hate to say it, but the Dark Knight. If
it would be the Dark Knight. If Across has been Into the Spider-Verse and Beyond is at the same level as Across, it's better than Dark Knight. Because
the movie, I was going to say the trilogy.
The trilogy is better. Yeah.
Because, you know, you get like these high quality films back to back to back.
Yeah.
You know, and it's all like progressive. Yeah. Probably one of the best trilogies of all time.
Yeah. It's definitely top 5. Yeah, man. I mean, you took the words right out of my mouth. This one. Yeah, I'm so insanely excited for it. I was like, you know how much of a big Spider-Man guy I
was about
am.
to say, you're a fucking huge Spider-Man fan.
It's my favorite character, at least comic-wise, probably top 2 of all time. Probably my first one. But yeah, like you were saying before about, you know, the emotional side of things, it definitely needs to lean towards that. The first one's quite emotional. There's some big themes in that kind of resonate with me.
Yeah.
Now that he's older, I expect a little bit like more harsher, real life kind of consequences to it. Because Spider-Man, you know, as goofy and happy as he is, he's really had some tragedy in his life. And I think that's what made No Way Home great. You know, outside of all the multiverse, you know, nostalgia side of things. If it didn't have those, you know, very big consequences for that character, it would not be nearly as good as it was. And it sounds like they're going to go that direction here. The visual style obviously is going to be a major player here, but I think this is part of my reasoning is I didn't even have my top 5. I think it was like 6th or 7th.
You did have it pretty low.
Yeah,
I was really surprised.
Not low, chill. It's in my top 10, and there's like 900 movies released a year. All right, top 10.
But Spider-Man.
Huh? Yeah, I know. My issue was I didn't think they could just top Into the Spider-Verse. I'm like, okay, this is perfect. So like, it's going to be a decrease in quality. So I'll still like it, but I won't love it. It sounds like I was wrong. Yeah, this movie I think is going to be incredible, and these reactions get me so excited. It's like what you're saying. I wish we could just skip to Wednesday now, and yeah, just skip the Boogeyman, because we're seeing the Boogeyman tomorrow, and then we're seeing Across the Spider-Verse the next day.
Surely we skip the Boogeyman and watch Into the Spider-Verse.
No, I'm watching that tonight.
Ah!
Yeah, I'm watching the 4K. I have it by my TV. It's all ready to go. I saw my brother watching Into the Spider-Verse today as well. He's preparing. Everyone is preparing for Into the Spider-Verse. But yes, no. So I think, yeah, Boogeyman is the appetizer. Across the Spider-Verse is the main meal.
So what's dessert? The Flash?
Transformers. Oh, no, yeah.
Because that's our next one, isn't it?
Yeah, that's our next screening, yeah. Unless it's some book club 2. That's our dessert. Because the dessert puts you to sleep.
Depending on who you are.
Yeah. If you're us, then for sure. Okay. So some news that you may be excited for, but probably not. All-female-led Fast and Furious spin-off movie. Vin Diesel said that he's been working on this during the COVID times. And I know Vin Diesel to be an actor, not a writer, director, producer. Oh, he might be a producer, but
pretty sure he produces Fast and Furious.
Yeah, this guy he sounds like the Kevin Feige of the Fast and Furious franchise. And because he announces everything, and it's a really strange dynamic. But yeah, apparently there's a female-led Fast and Furious movie. That's really the only details we have to go off so far. And you have Fast and Furious characters like Mia, and Letty. Yep. And I know Charlize Theron's in it. Brie Larson's in it.
The chick from Game of Thrones? Vesper? No. Viper? No. Cypher? No.
Who's Cypher?
Oh, fuck, I don't know.
Wait, who's the Game of Thrones one? Okay, no. There's also the Suicide Squad, Danielle Malkor or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay. So those are the ones that I know. I saw that Michelle Rodriguez said that she probably won't be in any of the spin-off movies. She's kind of done with the franchise. She also said like comments about the MCU. She's like sick of those like movies. Old people tired of them now.
I saw that comment. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's a little bit ironic with the Fast and Furious.
Yeah, I know.
But yeah. But yeah, I mean, what do you think about this? Would you be excited for a project like this?
I did read somewhere that Vin Diesel said that the spin-off could be based on the Torettos, which is fucking dumb considering
I told you, and he'll be in it. I guarantee $100 right now. He will be in that movie.
Still a fucking dumb idea, even if it's just based on the female Torettos, it's still fucking dumb. The whole fucking franchise is based on the Torettos.
It's just the Toretto story.
So I would be on board if this was based on Charlize Theron's character.
Oh, I like that. Yeah,
I would actually really enjoy that because it takes away from the Toretto family, and it just you get to see it. You can either do it before or after. I don't give a fuck from this franchise. It would just be good to see it from her perspective rather than Mia, because Mia at the end of Furious 7, she's been in retirement with Brian, and it's just been popping up at family barbecues. Yay, cool. She's looking after a kid. But yeah, I think the best one here, or even fucking Gal Gadot. Oh no, can't really do that. Oh, is it too spoilery?
Yes.
Okay, sorry. Skip ahead. Go back
it's a prequel.
It is, yeah, prequel. Yeah. Yeah, I think just Charlize Theron's character is probably the best bet for this, all female.
Yeah.
I mean, you could probably even add in characters that have popped up in the franchise that I won't name. Let's see what Fast X.
Someone else popped up?
Can I spoiler warning? Fast forward.
I don't even know who you're talking about. Who popped up?
Yeah. The end.
At the end?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no, we won't go there. It's only been out for 2 weeks.
Yeah, I know, but they clearly have a relationship somehow. So we could see that being explored.
Yes. I know what you're talking about. Yeah. Anyone who's seen it at the end, pretty much the last scene, you know who we're talking about. It's in Antarctica as well.
Mm-hmm. Strange, yeah. So I think if it's anything other than what I just said, I'll be pretty disappointed in. Really? Yeah. What's your thoughts?
I mean, I don't think I'm down for any Fast and Furious spin-offs. I'll say it like this. Fast and Furious is not a franchise. It's just
a family.
It's just movies. It's not like a franchise where this isn't a world where you can see different spin-offs. If you're watching Charlize Theron's character, for example, it's just a spy thriller with Charlize Theron in it. It's not really like a story into the world of Fast and Furious. It takes place in the real world, even though they do ridiculous things. So I think it would just be stupid if you see something like the Hobbs and Shaw. There's already been spin-offs here, and that was fine. But it's not a Fast and Furious movie. It just has that name on it to get more people in the seats.
Yeah.
But if you're not seen any of the Fast and Furious movies and then you watch that movie, you wouldn't really consider it a part of a franchise or a world or anything. It'd just be a good action movie with Dwayne Johnson, Jason Statham,
Would you, sorry to cut you off on your point here, because you're midway through talking and I was like, how did this idea? Would you like the spin-off to be based on the street race scene of Fast and Furious that's outside of LA? Say UK or Asia? places like that.
I was going to get to that because yeah. No. I like the question though, because we briefly kind of discussed now, covering the box office about what can this franchise do, and we see a lot of things online about how it should go back to street racing, all that kind of stuff. Yes, then I'm on board. I think to earn the title Fast and Furious in the movie title per se, you got to have street racing in it. And I think going back to the roots and having like where it revolves around street racing, not just have one race in it and be like, okay, yep, we've done our job. It's Fast and Furious franchise. Remember this? No, have it all about street racing.
Even like a racing tournament.
Even something like that. Even it takes place on the streets. I like to see like, I guess criminals or probably not criminals, but kind of like good people doing bad things in the racing kind of sense. I would just love to see more of that. So
they have every need for speed to go off as well.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, exactly. So I think there is room for spin-offs, but only in the origins of Fast and Furious, because as I said before, this isn't a world, it just takes place in real life. So
do you think it needs to be shackled down by boy races?
What do you mean by that?
So would you be open to a Fast and Furious movie going to like V8s or super bikes or F1?
Oh yeah, I mean, what, like a racer gets into the F1?
Yeah, I guess a street racer gets into the F1.
It could be very interesting if they did it an interesting way, and then sure, I guess so. Yeah, or like the Indy 500. Yeah. That one feels like more NASCAR as well. NASCAR, they feel like ones where they get into F1 seems more specialized and posh, but who am I to judge? As for a female-led Fast and Furious, I would love for it to be a street racing thing, but you know how like the term boy races is a real thing, and there's nothing about girl races or anything like that, at least in the New Zealand culture side of things.
Yeah.
If they had like, a girl or like, some girls be like try to enter the race, and the boys like no, like you can't be part of this, like boy races, and then like you won't do anything, and they prove them wrong and they like, get to the top or something like that. Yeah. I think that could be quite compelling. It'd be very interesting. So yeah, that's the only way I could really be down for it. I don't want any of the cast to come back. I'm over it like everyone else.
I'd like smaller characters come back.
Like so, cameos?
As cameos, no one from the family that's at the barbecues, that's Vin for Diesel. Sure. Yeah, no one like that. Someone like Sean from Tokyo Drift, or, those cleaners from Fast 5 that just suddenly disappeared, Yeah. Even Kurt Russell's character, Mr. Nobody, just comes in and leaves. We know he's significant in that franchise, but he's not like a main character.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely don't want any of the main family to be there. I think it's just, it's already stretching itself. Spin-offs are going to do it even more. Yeah. If they announce TV shows, bro, I'm done. It's too much for me.
Vin Diesel, if you're listening to this, that's not an idea.
It's not an idea. But you know what else is done? It seems like Jonathan Majors might be done. It's a good transition there. It is. Yeah, so the Loki season 2 trailer was played by Kevin Feige in front of a bunch of execs or, media industry people. Apparently, no Jonathan Majors in the Loki season 2, trailers or any of the marketing that he showed there. And we saw at the end of, Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, the Loki season 2 teaser in there, and Kang was front and center of that.
100%.
Yeah. So, we know everything that's happened. There's been, assault allegations initially, and apparently that wasn't true, but there's been other allegations coming through. He appeared in court virtually, but yeah, he appeared in court, and, these things can take months to really sort themselves out. I don't know where things go from here, but it seems like Disney is really kind of wait and see where it goes, what's happened, and further to this, the reports are saying that no Jonathan Majors will be in the marketing for Loki season 2, and there's been other little whispers about how they've actually recut the season to take out Kang as much as possible. What are your thoughts on this?
I'm sure you would have seen the article that popped up. I think it was this week, where Marvel Studios have literally redone the whole phases to be based around Kang, like just based around Jonathan Majors as Kang. Did you see those articles?
I did see it, yep.
So the fact that I did that, and now they're like somewhat trying to backtrack, they're fucking stuck themselves a hole. Really, you know. If they just envisioned the rest of the phases as a Kang, but not based on Jonathan Majors, I think that would be fine. But the fact that these reports are saying that they've literally just changed everything to be based on Jonathan Majors as Kang.
Yep.
It's a bit hard. I mean, from a business point of view, it's smart. You know, you don't want bad media in your trailers or your marketing, you know. So you try to cull that back.
Yep.
So it's a smart move on Disney for that. And they're playing the waiting game, which is different to what we expected. We thought they were just going to snip the cord and move on.
Exactly.
Get someone else.
Yep.
So they're really trying to wait for more information, I guess, from these trials and whatnot to come out. It's going to be very hard to. I can't see how they're going to market Loki without having Kang there, because the back half of this first season has been based on Kang, really.
Yeah.
And then the fact that you got the post-credit scene from Quantumania as well, featured Kang. It's how do you do that? Because Loki season 2 is literally him and Kang.
Yeah.
So it's going to be quite difficult for them to market that. It's Disney, it's Marvel. They'll make some sort of clever way to get around it, but I think anyone that watches that trailer that knows what's happening right now is going to be like, you're avoiding the actual issue here.
Obviously, yeah.
I wouldn't say cut him out completely. Have like a very quick second of him. You know, someone like Florence Pugh in the Oppenheimer trailer.
Yeah.
She was only in there for like literally a second. And
you gotta show that he's in it, because he's going to be integral to the story.
100%, because it's going to drop in. I bet he'll feature in every single episode.
Yeah, or at least most of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm completely in agreement with you. It seems like Disney is waiting and seeing what the outcome is, but you know, there's no end time in sight. So you got to play by the rules, like what's happening right now. I think you're right. I think keeping him out of the marketing is the best move at this stage. How to do that, I think it's going to be tough. I think you can do it how Warner Brothers has done it with Ezra Miller and the Flash. We've heard a lot about Flash. The marketing is ramped up, but I haven't heard much about Ezra Miller.
Exactly, it's been well put to bed. Everyone's forgotten what Ezra Miller's name, except for
his name isn't really on the poster. He's not been marketed as, you know, you'd see other stars, you know, helming or leading a comic book movie title.
It's been more like Supergirl and Batman, really.
And they're showing that stuff to kind of push the attention away from Ezra Miller. So I think they're kind of waiting and seeing how things are turning out there as well.
Yeah.
I think this is probably the way to do things. As for, you know, the reports that came out this week about how, you know, Marvel kind of reshifted everything to suit Kang, the next big bad of the MCU and whatnot. I don't know, putting all your eggs in one basket for one.
Jonathan Majors as Kang.
Yes, sorry. Yeah. Putting all your baskets in one, all your.
Sorry, I fucked you over there by commenting.
I had the right saying in place.
All your eggs in one basket.
Exactly, yeah. Having that for one person, I think, is a bit of a risky move in any franchise that has the size and scale of the MCU. And yeah, it doesn't look to pay off at all right now. I think it's actually going to be a bit of a detriment. As for Kang, you can recast that. He's not well established. And it might be the better move for Disney. Be like, this is too risky. Let's bounce. Like you can do it because we've seen different versions of Kang so far, and it's not too far out of realism to expect one that doesn't look like Jonathan Majors.
He's only been on 2 products.
Even though they showed that post-credit scene where it's like a bunch of Jonathan Majors different looking, sure. But like you can still work around that and have the big evil one be another actor. Yeah. So Disney, they have a get out of jail free card with this, in my opinion. I think they can get out of it without without the movie enthusiasts getting mad about it.
Yeah.
And as for like the casual movie going audience, I don't think they care that much or they know that much. They probably don't even know Jonathan Majors is in like a.
Because we've only seen him in Loki and Quantumania. It's only 2 products we've seen him.
Creed 3.
I'm talking about Kang.
Right. Yes. True. Have we? Yeah. No, we're only seeing 2 stuff. Yeah. It's going to be very interesting where they go with this, though. Yeah. I'm looking forward to it. Loki comes out October. All right. We are going to discuss Canes.
Canes.
Yeah. So there's a lot of big movies there that came out of that festival. And I know me and you, we're kind of raving about the festival having some, movies that we thought were big winners.
Yeah.
And from, the reception of the film festival, we can see that some of those winners that we thought are losers. So, Elemental, I know that debuted there. 7 reviews now. It's only 7 reviews, but it's at 57%. Pixar's been on a pretty downward, pretty quickly.
Their last good movie was Soul.
Yes. Okay, you take Soul out of it, they've had that's like 1 out of 5 good movies. Onward, Luca. Luca's fine.
I would say if you take Soul out of it, their last one was Inside Out.
Oh, I don't know if I go that far. Toy Story 4.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Don't forget about that.
Yeah. Okay. Non-franchise movie. That's a different question. Yeah. But I think Elemental debuting at 57%. I thought I would have gotten something a little bit better than that because it's an original movie. The animation looked amazing. The concept seems, I don't know what the term for it is. Maybe AI generated. Like, okay, all right. To make you understand this one, if you were to put into ChatGPT, write a script that felt like it was done by Disney, fire and water in the element world, it just feels doesn't feel that creative. It's not like the Soul world. It's not like the fish at the bottom of the sea trying to rescue his son. It's not like a floating house with balloons. It doesn't feel like rats cooking.
Memories.
How?
Oh, different personas.
Yeah. Like what Pixar is in terms of creative concepts and making it work. You can make even cars. Like fire and water in the elements is not that creative in terms of Pixar standards.
Yeah,
it's fun. Like it reminds me of that that online game. It's like what is it? Waterboy and Lava Girl? Oh no. That's the movie. Sorry. Have you played that game?
If you give me a name, probably.
It's on coolmathgames.com. And, it's a 2-player game on the keyboard and, one's like, it's like a Fire Girl and Waterboy or something like that.
I think if I see it, I'll know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So it was really like that, but considering it's a Fire Girl and Waterboy. But, yeah, are you surprised by, Pixar missing the mark again? Well, not surprised.
I wouldn't say surprised, just disappointed. I mean,
yes.
Elementals, it is an interesting concept. Somewhat. I mean, let me explain before you start judging.
Yeah, I never judge you.
Whenever someone goes into elemental stuff, it's always fire and water.
Mm-hmm.
But they forget about the other elements.
Yes.
It would have, Pixar could have struck gold if they went to Earth or Air or something like that,
Mm-hmm.
Coming out of, being a big Avatar The Last Airbender fan.
The live action one or the animated one? I'm just trying to make sure so the audience knows.
I haven't seen the live action Avatar The Last Airbender yet because it's not released. So it's the animated one.
The M. Night Shyamalan movie? You haven't seen that?
Oh, okay. Disclaimer. Whenever I talk about Avatar The Last Airbender, unless M. Night Shyamalan's in the conversation, we're not fucking talking about that movie.
I just want our listeners to know which one you're talking about.
You knew exactly how much I hate that movie. You struck a trigger point.
I hate it as much as you. I'm just making sure. Because if you are talking about it, then this conversation changes.
The cartoon.
I nearly lost my temper there.
Weight off your chest?
Yeah, we're good. Carry on, sorry.
Dickhead. This is how James gets under my skin.
Pretty much.
It's not that hard, to be honest. But yeah, like being as a last year Bender fan, animated.
Yeah.
You know, like they've sort of done the elements really right in that.
Mm-hmm.
So when I saw Pixar doing this, I was like, oh yeah, like because it's somewhat like this is pure Pixar, not Disney Pixar.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, okay, they can do something really creative here and whatnot. And then those trailers came out where it's literally just fire and water. I'm just like, okay, I might still have some faith. Do you need some fly spray? I can see that moth around you.
No, it's fine. It's minding its own business.
I was like, oh, okay, maybe they might be able to make this a more compelling story and stuff. And it could work, you know, like still an interesting concept, interesting worlds because they built worlds around all the elements, which is something different.
Yep.
And then these reviews come out. I'm just like, oh, Pixar is in a rabbit hole right now. Like, I do not know what can get them out other than, you know, sequels. So, it does hamper my anticipation for it. I was looking forward to it somewhat, just based on that concept.
Yeah.
But now after seeing this, I'm just like, oh, this is gonna be like Lightyear. You know, it's gonna be disappointing.
Starman, eh?
Now that song's gonna be stuck in my head.
No, I'll say right here, it's not gonna be Lightyear. I warned
but like,
everybody I ever met, Lightyear, garbage, shit. This is a bad idea.
James was walking down the street and was like, hey, Lightyear, gonna be a bad movie.
Yeah, and they're like, okay, thanks. I won't go see it because no one saw it because it made like $200 million.
Exactly. Thank you, James.
Yeah, you're welcome. I did the world a service. But yeah, Lightyear, I always knew that was going to be bad because no reason for it. The trailers made it look like, oh, this could work, this could be good, but stuck to it. As for this, honestly, man, like, I've had no feelings about Elemental at all. Not like good or bad or excitement or dreading it. Just nothing at all. I felt nothing for this movie whatsoever. I thought like I could go into it and have fun with it maybe, but I think that kind of shows how the decline of Pixar. I think, yeah, it's just that studio has just gone into the water. Like,
do you think it's Pixar or do you think it's Disney wanting to be a bit more hands-on now with Pixar?
I think it's both. I think we live in a world where, you know, at least for the film industry, it moves towards sequels, reboots, and remakes, stuff like that. And we're seeing that. I mean, they're doing Toy Story 5. Well, no reason at all to do it. Wasn't any reason to do Toy Story 4, and they pulled that off. I'll say that much. They pulled that off.
They can't pull Toy Story 5 off.
I don't know if they can do it again, but I'm not going to complain. Because
him and Bo Peep splitting apart again.
It kind of runs 4, but if they were to do that,
and 3,
yes. But as for like this, the story, I thought it's very generic, the concept, because you know we see these things like the elements together, like kind of thing, and like I said before, it reminds me of that game. And you know, then you got what is it? Yeah, Last Airbender, even Avatar, the live action, good CGI movie, universe one. James Cameron's Avatar thing, that's kind of even doing the same thing.
It is.
And so for Disney, by their standards of what you call original concepts, like Rat's That Cook. There's no other concept that beats that. A rat that wants to cook in Paris. And he's a good cook. It makes no sense and it's kind of silly. But it works and that's such a good movie. That's what they need to pull out stupid ideas like that and make it work. I think that's kind of where Disney Pixar thrives. Yeah. I don't need these spin-offs of Lightyear. I don't need these sequels of Finding Dory or whatever. Inside Out 2? No. I've seen the emotions. I've seen how it affects a child's mind. Like, I don't need that.
I think probably the only franchise I can see them get behind is Incredibles because you know you have a lot to work with there. So
not even that. Incredibles 2 is not a good movie. Like, I watched it like 2 weeks ago.
I'd like it if the kids are older. So Dash and Violet are older, and they're like the same age as their parents were in the first one, or 10 years, 20s, 30s.
Yeah. No,
that's a good concept.
That is a good concept. Yeah. Because I watched Incredibles 2 and I was like, they need to be older. It just doesn't work.
I can't remember if I have that on 4K. I think I do.
But that's what I watched it on 4K. Yeah, and I didn't finish it because I didn't like it. I've seen it before, like twice, and I was watching and I was like, I just didn't have a good time with it. I think it's bad, like not good. Not like, this is fine, it's acceptable. No, it's just not a good movie at all.
I think I'm like that.
Yeah.
I can watch it, like, as in, like, tolerate it and watch it to the end.
Yeah. Incredibles 1's brilliant, though.
It is.
Yeah, Finding Nemo, all these sequels are not good, outside of Toy Story. Like, Finding Dory, Incredibles 2, and then Luca and onward, like, they're fine. They're okay.
It's not Pixar.
It's not Pixar, yeah.
That's why I said the best film, if you take away Soul, would be Inside Out.
Soul was Pixar. You see that movie and you're like, oh, okay, yeah.
And it's such an interesting concept because it's never been done.
Great concept, extremely emotional. And it applies to, really adult themes, but children still enjoy it. I think that's the beauty of Pixar.
And that's where Pixar really strives is, they appeal to kids and the adults.
Yeah.
But the stuff that they've been churning out lately has just been all kids.
Yeah,
really.
The perfect Pixar movie is one where the kids enjoy it, the adults understand it.
Yes.
Yeah. I think that's a perfect Pixar movie. Elemental may not be it. It's only 7 reviews. We'll see. It could go to 99%. But
it could.
Yeah. Doubt it though. Asteroid City. One me and you were very looking forward to. Wes Anderson.
Sorry, I completely forgot we're talking about Canes there.
Yeah, no. Yeah, we really went into Elemental quite a lot. Yeah. We'll skim through Flower Moon and Indiana Jones because we covered that last week. But Asteroid City, that's a movie that we haven't talked about. But, we've talked about it before, last week's podcast. We're both very looking forward to this. The trailer blew us away even more. We're hearing it might be one of Wes Anderson's best. Reviews have come out of Canes. It's at 82% with 38 reviews. What are your thoughts on that?
I still think that's very good, despite what anyone else says. I'm still fucking excited for it. It's Wes Anderson. I was so excited for this film before even anything dropped for it. Yeah. It's quite high on my most anticipated of this year as well. Mm-hmm. So I'm still looking really forward to it. I still think the visuals are going to be fantastic.
Absolutely.
I'm just not sold on the story. I feel that this 83 is based that the story's not as good as Wes Anderson's best, like Fantastic Mr. Fox or Grand Budapest Hotel. Mm-hmm. But it's still good. I'm pretty sure this has a higher score than French Dispatch, his last one. You can correct me if I'm wrong on this, but I'm pretty sure that was around about that 70 mark or lower.
Yeah.
As in like high 70s. Mm-hmm. So yeah, based on 30-something reviews, this could still go up quite a lot.
Yeah.
Or could just still maintain. I mean, I think if we trash a movie that's in the 80%, then there's something wrong with us because that's still
absolutely
still a very good score.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm still excited for it. It has not diminished my excitement levels whatsoever.
Yeah.
What about yours?
I really love how you touched upon how we got to kind of look at ourselves if we're trashing a movie that's an 80%. Like, and I feel like that's the fact with even lower percentages. Even if something's like 70%, that's 70%. The majority of critics liked it. Go back to, Elemental, 57%. More than half the critics liked it. They're approved for a reason, I think the way, if something's like 95% and above, people are like, oh, this is not good, or like, it could be bad. I see everyone freaking out, 78, 82 and all this kind of stuff. I'm like, 82% of critics, that's good. That's still good.
It's very good.
Yeah.
It's like A+ almost.
Yeah.
It's an A at least.
It's at least an A. It's an A-. No, A is 85 to 90.
In New Zealand, yeah.
Yeah. We live in New Zealand. I don't know USA academics.
Me neither.
Yeah. Probably 70+ is an A for them. Nothing against them. Your education system is great, Americans. Don't get me wrong. Anyway, yeah. I know that Grand Budapest is 92%, I believe.
Is that his highest, or is it one of his stop motion ones?
I don't know if it's his highest. I know it's higher than Mr. Fox. But but I know that's got an 8.5 average rating. And anything over an 8 is huge for Wes Anderson or for any movie. But and 82% at 7.5, that's fine. It's not great. I think once a movie gets over that 85% mark, then you can kind of consider it within the great mark kind of things. But
Sorry,
I won't lie. I do think this does. I don't know how to explain it. I think it does pull me back a little bit from the excitement and just kind of brings me into reality. Because I was getting to a point where I was like, nah, this is going to be amazing. This is Grand Budapest level. Let's go. So it just kind of brings me into reality. Like, okay, might not be his best work, but it's going to be good. And yeah, I think that's where it's kind of going at this point. Yeah.
by the way, Grand Budapest is 92. Mr. Fox 93.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there is one higher. I think it's like 96%, but it's one I've never seen or heard of before. So I think it might have been one in his like earlier days.
Right. Okay, interesting. Yeah, and obviously, Killers of the Flower Moon. That's dominating. 96%, 53 reviews. Yeah.
Listened to a podcast last week because my thoughts are still the same. NZIFF, bring it here.
Bring it here.
I know you're there in Cairns.
Yeah, they told us they're there, so they better bring that one. Bring Asteroid City.
Bring Monster.
Bring Anatomy of a Fall as well.
Yes,
I would like to see that. Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. That's 42 reviews, so it's a bit more than what we talked about last week. But still at 50%.
Still rotten.
Yeah.
Disney gambled and they gambled bad, like on.
If we think about this, and I'm not disputing anything that you're saying or may think, it's 50%, so half of critics. I don't like that Rotten is 60 plus, because why?
Yeah, me neither. I think it should be 50 is fresh, and then say 75 plus is certified.
Right.
And anything below 50 is rotten, obviously.
Yeah.
That's below the mid.
Exactly. But with a 50%, the critics that go to Cairns, they're more high profile. They're the more harsher ones.
Right.
So I think 50%, is that to you a very bad sign? Do you think this can be fresh by the time we get to the 300 review mark?
It could have a chance. In terms of, is it a bad sign? I think it's a bad sign of Disney trying to do something like this, for sure.
Yeah,
considering what you just said, like film festivals, they're more of those indie films, or more, the more nuanced.
They were confident in this,
or the more nuanced type of films, that generates Oscar buzz. That is in contenders for Oscars.
Yeah.
Indiana Jones, like realistically, that's not an Oscar movie.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe technical side, but other than that,
I thought I felt like they were trying to do this year's Top Gun.
They were.
Like, we're we're gonna be Top Gun this because Top Gun debuted at Cairns.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, I did see that. Well, backfired on their faces for sure. Yeah, but I think if the more general audience or general critics, I think it could probably get up to the 60s. But I think the critics that have seen it now has pretty much like set the stone for it to be rotten. It's going to be a hard push to get it up to that mark.
Yeah. It's kind of sad. I felt like that movie was going to be good. Yeah.
Yeah, you did. You're excited for an adventure movie, and we're still probably going to get that.
I do think it'll be good in the sense of going to the movie theater, seeing an adventure movie. I was never certain on this movie being like a masterpiece or like, say 90% and above.
Yeah.
I thought it would be better than 50%. I think we both did because Mangold, ending of Harrison Ford's role in this, it just felt like it would do a little bit more.
Yeah.
But yes, Cannes Film Festival has finished now, and so the winner of the Palme d'Or is Anatomy of a Fall by Justine Triet. And the prize for director is, I'm trying my best here to pronounce this stuff. I haven't heard of some of these names. Tran Ang Hung for The Pot Al Pho, Again, I'm trying my best, guys.
You are.
Yes. This is intimidating. Actor is Koji Yakusho for Perfect Days. Actress is Merv Dizdar for About Dry Glasses. And screenplay is by Sakamoto Yuji for Monster. What are your thoughts on these winners, specifically the Palme d'Or? Because the last one of the Palme d'Or was Triangle of Sadness, then before that Titanium, before that Parasite. 2 out of those 3 were nominated for Best Picture, 1 winning it.
Never seen Titanium, but Parasite.
I've heard amazing things about Titanium, but yes, carry on. Sorry.
Yeah, me too. But Triangle of Sadness and Parasite are both films I thoroughly enjoyed. Need to get them in physical media somehow. It's actually quite criminal of me for not having Parasite.
I might have Parasite. I think I should have it. It's a crime if I don't. Yeah.
Exactly. I could go on a rabbit hole here, but that's just a tangent. But yeah, so it does get me excited to see this film. Hope NZIFF brings it over here.
Yes.
So you can get it rather than waiting until probably realistically next year.
Yeah,
to see
May next year or something ridiculous.
So yeah, hopefully they can do that for us. It would be great to see it and see what all these critics or the panel deserve this movie for. Everything else, never heard of anything aside from Monster. So I hope they bring that to...
Screenplay's a big award, so yeah.
Yeah, so I hope they bring that as well, because I've heard a lot of good things about Monster. I don't know if it's still at 100. Last week on the podcast it was 100%.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's dropped. Could not. But still, I hope they bring that here so we can watch it. And pretty much any other films, the best actor and actresses will be a good watch, just to see what critics are thinking or what the panel's thinking right now in terms of, still 100, James just showed me.
Yeah,
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Monster's the way to go. Monster's a new Parasite, guys. So yeah, I think those 2 films, NZIFF, New Zealand Film Festival, New Zealand International Film Festival, I think they sort of had to bring those in. Monster and
Anatomy of a Fall.
Anatomy of a Fall.
Yeah.
Which is also 100%. So those are 2 big, And if they don't bring it here, then
we're gonna be mad.
It's not a film festival.
Yeah, I know. Our last 2 film festivals haven't had a good lineup recently, in my opinion, which is why we haven't attended them. But
I thought it was COVID was the reason why.
That too. That might influence some of the picks, I guess.
But they were there in Canes. Bring Back 3, Monster. That one I know. Anatomy of a Fall and Killers of the Flower Moon.
Yeah.
And Asteroid City. Sorry, 4.
And Asteroid City. Yeah. I don't think there's anything else you could bring that. There's obviously Past Lives. That's already confirmed to be there. Yeah, that's sitting at 95%.
Yep.
And
that is on our list to watch.
Yeah, I think that was at Sundance, and that's already in the Oscar conversation Best Picture. So that should be good. This Anatomy before, I'm just reading the synopsis of it, and the movie's about a woman is suspected of her husband's murder, and their blind son faces a moral dilemma as a sole witness.
Oh my God!
Now that sounds like a good movie. Like
Pixar, take notes.
Imagine Pixar doing this, but I mean, like just that concept alone, I think is brilliant.
I think it's going to be so intense.
Yeah,
just the fact that it's a blind witness.
Yeah, and he's the only one that can say whether or not, and it's just going to be like intense and like, it should be good.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, that would be good. NZI, please bring that to us, and obviously, Monster as well. And Killers of the Flower Moon. I think Asteroid City is fine because that comes out mid or early August for us anyway. So
which is the same time, eh?
Yeah, it'll be fine.
But still.
All right, so Barbie time.
Yeah.
The new trailer dropped, and this will be the last trailer that me and Nate will be covering because I think I can speak for us. We don't want to see any more of this, do we?
Definitely.
Yeah, no, we're all good to see any more of it. So this is the last we're going to be covering for it. So yeah, the new trailer came out in the middle of the week. What are your thoughts on it?
I do have regrets watching the trailer.
Oh, really?
Just a little, like, it's not enough to like make me pissed off or it's like, it's spoiled the whole movie, but just...
Is it because we saw the real world side of it? Yeah.
The real world side of it. Spoiler, they go into the real world.
That's not a spoiler. Movie's not out yet.
That's true. Yeah, they go into the real world and we get a lot more story from it. And I think the last time we covered this, we were discussing how Greta Gerwig could bring like what she does so well, which is what is it? What's the words I'm looking for?
I don't know.
I don't know either. You know, the compelling story and whatnot to the sort of film, especially to Barbie, because see a Barbie film is outrageous, and from all the trailers you saw that. But from this trailer, you can somewhat see where the direction it's going in.
Yeah,
it's pretty much gonna be Barbie trying to fit in the real world, or trying to prove like, you know, life is plastic, can mix with the reality of humans and whatnot.
Yeah.
So I am kicking myself that I did watch that trailer, but it's fine. Still got me even more excited.
Yeah.
And I think there wasn't much of Ken in it, as in Ryan Gosling's character, but I think the moments he had in it, I think it's gonna be the show stealer of this film. He
seems hilarious.
He seems absolutely funny just because of how oblivious and dumb he is, which is pretty much what Ken is.
Yeah.
So I'm actually really looking forward to his performance in this. I think Margot Robbie's gonna nail it as Barbie. You know,
absolutely.
I think we're gonna see her comedic side. We're gonna see her serious side. We're gonna see her emotional side. As it pretty much see hints of that throughout this trailer. So if there's another trailer, I'm not watching it. Because I think I am quite satisfied in what I've seen so far.
Yeah. I agree with you on all those aspects, actually. And with the trailer, I hadn't watched it until, about an hour ago when I saw it with you for the first time. So I didn't know whether to cover it or not. I probably should have brought it up to you when it came out. Like, should we cover this? Because
I think when it comes to next Oppenheimer trailer, Dune trailer, Mission Impossible,
I don't need to watch on the Oppenheimer trailer. I feel like we watched everything we need to.
I don't think I would.
Yeah,
we probably wouldn't cover that.
I'd cover another Dune trailer because I think I need another one just to get me like truly amped.
But like the third trailer after
that, like I think just a rule of thumb, and for anyone listening, we won't do third trailers. I think the third trailer is just too much. I think that's for the casual audience. They're hanging on the fence about it. We're going to see it regardless, so we don't need to see the third trailer for most movies.
Yeah.
So yeah. I think this is only the second one though, or second full trailer.
I think we had the teaser, and then we had the full one, and then we have this one. But still, that's too many.
Yeah, I mean the Oppenheimer, we had a teaser, the main one, and then the main one. Depends if you count the teaser trailer. But yeah, we were saying in about I think like 5-6 weeks ago when the other trailer came out. Now, what's the real world going to look like? And that was like a big part of our intrigue about this movie. Because it looked like they had only showed about, I guess, like the first 40 minutes of it. And we liked that. We're like, okay, like, gets us really a bit excited now. And yeah, you kind of saw
everything.
Yeah, now that I'm thinking about it and hearing you talk about it, I did not like this trailer.
Yeah.
I thought it was a bad trailer because I see the entire direction. Leave everything Will Ferrell is. Don't have him in this at all.
Keep it a secret?
Yeah, you can show her in the real world. I wouldn't have minded that. The fact that I know that Will Ferrell is this, corporate overlord that needs Barbie out.
Yeah.
And that he's in like Mattel, or he must be Metal. I don't know how to pronounce the brand name. Yeah.
Mattel.
The fact that, he owns that company and obviously doesn't want her to be in the real world. And I don't know how it's going to end, but I know that that's the entire movie.
Yep.
Yeah, so it is kind of a bummer to see that. It doesn't hinder my excitement at all. I'll say that much.
Same as me, yeah.
Yeah, because what I saw from it was amazing. So just to be clear, from the story that was revealed in this trailer, I didn't like. I thought it was a bad trailer, poorly executed. Fire the internet made this. As for the movie itself, God, looks amazing, doesn't it? Barbie World looks every shot. I was like, how can they top this? How can they top this? And then it kept looking like ridiculous.
It looks cheap, but it looks good cheap.
Yeah.
You know what I mean by that?
Yeah. It's meant to look like that, but it's you kind of look at it and you're like, oh, this looks ridiculous, but like it's so creative and interesting, and it keeps getting more interesting. And then like they're traveling to the real world, and it's like there's all these like cool stuff. I'm like, oh,
and
my
the
God.
comedy in that's going to be fantastic. Like when the group of girls are around Barbie, and Barbie talks about how she lost her heels and has flats.
Yeah.
And then just freak out over that.
Like, yeah. Oh man, I think it's going to be great. It looks like it's going to be a good time. I have no doubt in the movie's quality from a bad trailer. So
me too.
I trust Greta Gerwig. I trust Noah Baumbach with the screenplay. I trust Margaret Robbie. And I think, like you said, I think Ryan Gosling's going to
steal the show.
I mean, I don't know how, since it's like Margaret Robbie's so talented.
I know, but
he's going to be like that funny. He will be a meme. He'll be like one of those.
Because if you think back to the last trailer, he was a stand on that, and then in this trailer he was a stand on this. Especially in, like, if you're gonna watch the trailer, don't watch the trailer. Just skip to like after the title card has been released at the end, and just watch that like last 5-10 seconds, and you'll be sold on Ryan Gosling as Ken.
Nah, it's hilarious. He's a great pick. I think the movie is going to be good. But another movie coming out on the same weekend is going to be good.
Oh, the Battle of the Titans.
And that's Oppenheimer, and that's another good transition from me, because we're going to cover preview the box office battle between Barbie and Oppenheimer. So Barbie, is obviously going to be very popular, but Oppenheimer is as well, because Christopher Nolan, a cast that's completely stacked.
Yep.
But it does cover, a historical figure people may not be aware of. Barbie is a very, popular commodity in terms of toys. So
yeah, I think it's probably one of the most popular toys.
Yeah, the brand name is very prominent from most generations because it's been around for a long time. So in terms of box office, I want your opinion here right and now. Which movie is going to open better? Which movie domestically in the US will have the higher gross by the end of its run? And worldwide, which one will be the top? So just those three levels. I want to know where you're at, what you think. Because we've got plenty of trailers, plenty of footage, plenty of excitement for both movies. What do you think?
Love this question. Oppenheimer 4-3.
Oh, shit. Really?
Yep. I think Oppenheimer is going to be more rewatchable, regardless of runtime, and the fact that it's the Nolan name attached to it, and then that cast.
Yes.
Barbie. Every mother that hasn't watched a trailer is going to take their kid to it, thinking it's
yeah,
it's going to be a kid movie. No, it's not. And then they're not going to go back. And then the mothers, they have like high teas and stuff like that, and they're going to tell the other mothers, and the other mothers won't go see it.
Interesting.
Yeah. So I think they're both going to open really well. They're both going to be very good movies. That's what I'm trying to say here.
Do you think they'll both do well at the box office, or do you think Barbie will fail?
In terms of budget, I think they're both going to do very well. I think Barbie is going to prove a lot of people wrong. I mean, you have the popularity of Barbie as an actual figure itself, and then you have these critics like, I'm not going to say you and I, but like the higher, more technical critics, who's also looking forward to this because of Noah Baumbach and Greta Gerwig.
The talent behind the screen,
They're going to go and see it and whatnot, and they're going to take whoever once they've seen it at the critical movie premiere stuff. That's going to help it as well. I think both movies are going to succeed well. I don't think either of them are going to flop. If they do flop, I'll genuinely be surprised. Like, that would actually shock me.
Yeah.
Because based on the trailer, even that last one for Barbie, it still has a premise to be a fantastic movie.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. But I think domestically, worldwide, and your third one that you said, it's Oppenheimer. Just because of the popularity of Nolan and the popularity of the actors that's in his film. Because if you think about it, he has like Emily Blunt, Robert Downey Jr.
Keep going. Florence Pugh,
Cillian Murphy,
Matt Damon.
Oh, fuck, I forgot about him as well. Yeah, Matt Damon, and then you have like, I don't know.
You got a Safdie brother in there.
Yep, you got a lot.
Is it Josh Peck?
Yep, Josh Peck. That's the one I was thinking of. I was thinking of Jake and Josh. I was like, fuck, which one is it?
It's definitely not the other one who's in got a little criminal stuff going on.
Didn't he go like missing and was found? And he's a bad Nickelodeon, and Josh Peck is a good Nickelodeon.
Yeah.
But if you think about it, really, for Barbie, it's just Margot Robbie and Ryan Gosling. Yeah,
they're both A-listers.
They are, but
Cillian Murphy's on an A-lister.
He isn't.
No.
Yeah, but you still have like.
What other lead is he in a movie?
Inception, because he's an integral part of the story.
No, but a lead. Margot Robbie and Ryan Gosling are leads. They're both A-listers. Emily Blunt, Matt Damon, Robert Downey Jr. might be the only A-listers for Oppenheimer. True A-listers.
I think Florence Pugh is very popular. Like in terms of the younger audience. Like if you think about
she's not an A-lister yet.
Yeah.
Got some work to do, but yeah. She will be. Absolutely.
But there's more well-known actors and actresses in Oppenheimer than there is in Barbie. Because if you think about it, the top 3 is Margot, Ryan, and Will Ferrell.
Simu Liu.
He's only been in like
He's coming through.
one mainstream.
And you got Dua Lipa. I mean, don't discount musical figures. They're
That's
massive.
True.
So that will push, a different kind of target audience towards that movie as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I still think Oppenheimer's gonna take it out. I think
Interesting. I like it.
I think Oppenheimer won the battle of the box office, but Barbie won the critical score.
No.
No? Okay.
No. I think Oppenheimer will win the critical score. I think Oppenheimer will be the better film. And I think Barbie will take opening weekend.
You reckon?
I think so, because like you said, people are going to go see it and then tell people, oh, it's too mature for the young ones or whatever it may be. Christopher Nolan always has leggy runs in terms of his movies. They don't always open so massively high where it's like, unless it breaks the opening record like The Dark Knight did.
Fuck yeah.
And even that had a really long run. So his films are always quality and people always seem to go back to them and rewatch them. And I feel like it'll be the same with Oppenheimer.
I think
regardless.
it's because, it's like more thinky. So people need to rewatch it.
Yeah, that too. And people want to take other people to go again as well and just have an excuse to go. I don't know if Barbie will be that kind of movie. But I mean, I don't have much doubt that this will be a better movie than that Oppenheimer will be a better movie than Barbie, just because you can kind of see it.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But regardless, this meme right now with Oppenheimer versus Barbie, I think it's so dumb. I think it's a dumb meme.
It is.
Why can't it be Barbie and Oppenheimer team up
against the rest of Hollywood?
Yes,
summer.
Yeah, you're getting two high quality, kind of blockbuster-esque kind of, at least marketing wise, movies opening on the same weekend. They're gonna bring in, a very different audience to what the big movies do these days. And that's what you want. You want Hollywood treading in new directions. You want the audience to be amped for non-comic book, non-blockbuster,
yes, original,
sequel, remake, reboot, spin-off, whatever it may be. You just want different shit. And he's mixing Coke and Prosecco in there. That's an interesting mix.
I only did that because I still want alcohol in my drink.
Is that a mix? Is that like a? Is that a drink?
Technically, I have no idea. I'll let you know in a second. I'll let you know now.
All right, he's discovering a drink here, but yeah,
just tastes like Coke.
There wasn't much in there, but yeah, no. As for what this weekend will be, it will be a celebration amongst movie enthusiasts, and I think we're in for two great movies coming out back to back. I think we should just be excited.
Do a double feature, guys.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think everyone should do a double feature, or Friday night Oppenheimer, Saturday Barbie, whatever it may be. Friday night with Oppenheimer with your mate. Take your girlfriend to Oppenheimer.
Barbie.
Or do Oppenheimer twice in the weekend.
Oh shit.
Nah. Yeah. Take your girlfriend to Barbie. It's not something like that. Just watch both of them, support both of them. It's not a battle.
Because at the end of the day, cinema wins.
Exactly, yeah. You put it perfectly there. We're gonna cap things off though with an important mark in cinema. It's Quentin Tarantino. And he's about to leave his mark. His final mark.
His 10th mark.
10th and final. Call it Tarantino X, if you will.
You're going to go with that.
You did not know I was going to do that. That was good. But yes, no, we got further details on Quentin Tarantino's final movie. It is called Film Critic. Oh, The Movie Critic. Yeah, so it's a very interesting direction for his final movie to be. And, it's very different to, what we thought his last movie would be about. And it's about, I know it takes place in 1977 in California, and it's about a movie critic who reviews porn movies. I'm not joking. This is real. It's about a director that directs porn movies, and it's based on a real person. What are your thoughts on this synopsis for his Quentin Tarantino's final movie?
I think that sums up Tarantino to a T.
Okay, carry on.
I mean, if we expected a film to be based on a movie critic reviewing Hollywood movies, it's not quite Tarantino, but Tarantino likes to put his own spin on things and like having him do porn and stuff. I mean, it's just, we don't see that nowadays. Like, you don't have to have the graphicness of porn and whatnot, but just, it's just a untapped industry that can be explored from even like a PG or M sort of view.
Yeah.
This is definitely going to be R16 to 18, guaranteed, because it's Tarantino. I think it's an interesting concept, and it's going to be fun to see what he brings to it. I'd like to know more details when it releases, and even footage, trailer, that is, off it. But yeah, I think this is like Tarantino. Yeah, it's just so Tarantino, like expect the unexpected, somewhat. So it's gonna be great. And in terms of how he brings gore to it, fuck, who knows?
Yeah,
because that's his staple. We'll definitely see feet. 100%. Movie based on porn, there's gonna be feet galore in this for Tarantino.
I mean, you're not wrong. I wasn't gonna say it, but yeah,
it's the question on everyone's mind if they're listening to this: is are we gonna see feet?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, as for my side, I'm always going to be excited for a Quentin Tarantino movie. I'm sad that he's going out on his 10th one.
Me too.
I mean, he said it recently, he wants to go out with a bang, and I respect that. And, he wants to go out on top. And sometimes I think that's the best option. I don't like seeing directors, really hitting their stride, doing really well, banger on top of banger on top of banger. And then kind of like once they reach like a certain like, amount of films in their filmography, they just kind of keep missing, and kind of like Ridley Scott.
Yeah.
Yeah. That might be unfair because he does produce some really great movies, but he has some really bad ones recently, and it's kind of hit or miss. It's really sad to see.
Clutching for straws.
Yeah. As for this movie, he said that he will, the lead will be a 35-year-old male, and it's going to be someone that hasn't, been in his movies before, a new person. He has an idea of who he'd like to work with for this. Do you have any ideas on like who could play that, 30 to 40-year-old lead for this movie?
Henry Cavill's the first one.
Henry Cavill with you.
You got him. Can you even go someone basically like John Cena? I think
John Cena. That would be hilarious.
Yeah, if you think about like the premise that you've said so far in John Cena, like that's just gold, especially if he's gone down that comedy route.
Yeah.
That's one. But no actors coming to my head at the moment. He's already worked with Brad Pitt.
Some that I saw was Andrew Garfield.
Yes, that would be a good one.
Robert Pattinson.
That would be great.
Michael B. Jordan.
Yes.
Adam Driver.
Oh, that's all good ones.
I saw some of that.
I think Adam Driver would be fucking hilarious in this role.
He would. I feel like he would suit it. Like, just, yeah. I feel like
because he already has like majority of his movies. He's like somewhat weird-ish, you know. So I think if you chuck him in this,
and in a dialogue heavy role, I feel like he would thrive in that. That seems to be, I think he'd be better than the other actors that I just said there. Yeah.
Michael B. Jordan would be crack up, but I think he's just too much off, eye candy to like, take it away from what Tarantino's trying to say.
Yeah. I understand your point there. I think Adam Driver might be the best fit for this. I would love to see final film Adam Driver in a Tarantino movie.
That'd be hilarious.
Yeah. But before Tarantino racks up his filmography, I have to catch up on stuff that he's done that I haven't seen. Have you seen what are some that you haven't seen of his?
I haven't seen Reservoir. I
The
haven't.
Reservoir Dogs, is it?
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep. Sorry, I haven't seen any of the Kill Bills.
So just those three.
Those three that come to my mind at the moment.
Because what is it? You obviously got Hollywood,
Seen it.
Inglourious Bastards,
Seen it.
Django Unchained,
Seen it.
Reservoir-
Pulp Fiction. Seen it.
You've seen that, yeah. What's some of the other ones? How am I forgetting these?
Hateful Eight. Seen that.
Yeah, Hateful Eight, yeah.
You got Kill Bill 1 and 2. You got Reservoir Dogs.
What was the one we're missing?
Jackie Brown.
Jackie Brown.
Is that what it's called, or Jackie something?
Death Proof.
I haven't seen that.
His director one's like pretty. Oh, Jackie Brown, yeah. Well, he's directed like episodes of stuff as well.
Oh, doesn't count.
Yeah, doesn't count. But yeah, I'm sure me and you both will catch up on everything that he's done before his final movie.
I think I have 3 big ones.
Yeah,
really.
It'll be kind of a big event, his final movie. Yeah,
Be huge.
I don't think we've had like a director like go out like that. Like
someone that's confirmed that they're done.
Exactly. Yeah, they kind of just make the movie and then they're kind of like, oh, I'm tired. I'm too tired. I can't do it anymore. And I really hope Scorsese just like, honestly, if he does Killers of the Flower Moon and then he's like puts like I guess 5 years into one movie, he's like, this is it. This is my dream final thing. I'm out after.
So
that.
It makes one more.
Yeah. Something like that. I kind of like, and it reminds me of like sports stars when they do like their farewell tours. They kind of announce, this is my final season. I'm done after that.
Yeah, because if he was going to do that, he would have done it before Keynes. He would have announced this is his final film.
Yeah.
And it would have got a lot more buzz, a lot more publicity. I think he has one more in him.
Yeah.
Because
I think he does, yeah.
The quote that we brought up last week is that he has so many ideas.
No.
He just has one more idea to tell us, mark it as his last. Boom, off you go. And then give his ideas to a director that he endorses.
Yeah.
Somewhat of an understudy.
Yeah.
Boom, you 2 birds, 1 stone. You go out on a high and you build something else up.
Absolutely, yeah. No, yeah, I just hope more directors like announce their final piece of work so we can appreciate it a little bit more.
How would you feel if Nolan ended on 10, 11? I can't remember how much if he's at the double-digit mark yet.
Pitch that. I'd be devastated. Honestly, I'd be devastated.
Like saying next film is his last.
No, he's so young. Like no.
But he's like, I have no more movies to tell about time.
I don't care. You told Dunkirk with time. You can tell any movie about time. That's the case.
Different question. Would you like to see a Nolan movie without the concept of time?
Oh, he's going a different direction than I thought. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I've heard there's always arguments about Denis Villeneuve versus Christopher Nolan.
Yeah.
And the one thing that I tell people whenever that thing comes up is that Nolan has variety in genre. Denis Villeneuve is always in, sci-fi. Like, it just stays in that. Blade Runner, Arrival, Dune 1 and 2. And sure, Sicario and Prisoners. Yeah, but then he stopped, and since 2016 onwards, he's been in sci-fi.
Mm-hmm.
Nolan branches out. He does different stuff. He seems like a director that challenges himself more so than Denis Villeneuve, which is why I'd give him the edge.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. What was your original question?
Would you like to see him do a movie that doesn't have a concept of time in it?
Yeah. So going back to that, the versatility of the director, obviously, like if it's something that I praise so much about him that he does different things, everything he does kind of sits within the time element of things. Yeah, even Memento, even Prestige. I wouldn't say outside of the Dark Knight trilogy. I think everything goes within time. Even the Dark Knight kind of uses like some time stuff in there, just a bit, but not much. So yeah, I'd welcome any movie. I'd just welcome any movie by him, regardless. Yeah, it could be about,
Love to see him do a western.
Oh yeah, nah, actually, I want a Waterboy and Fire Girl movie from him. And you would be excited for it.
Because of Waterboy?
No, because of Nolan. Not Waterboy.
Remember that movie?
Oh, no.
See, James can trigger me, but I know exactly how to trigger him back.
All right. So, yeah, when there was the lockdown for New Zealand, we would jump on a live video call and we'd take turns every week just suggesting a movie and we'd watch a movie together, live together. And now it's just The Waterboy that has Adam Sandler in it.
Yep.
One of the worst movie experiences of my life.
Yeah, it's fucking terrible.
And he haunts me with that nearly every week. Yeah.
I can taste Prosecco now, guys, and the Coke.
Yeah. Thanks for the update.
But
we're going to finish it there, so you don't need to update anyone anymore. That's going to do it from us today. If you guys enjoyed today's episode, please show your support on the channel. Subscribe to us, follow us on Twitter, turn on those notifications, never miss another one of our episodes. Before we sign off, want to hear your thoughts, comment what you think below. We can have a conversation there. Jump on Twitter, DM us. We have a chat as well. Head over to moviegains.com. We do 4K movie reviews. We do box office predictions, the works. We'd love to hear what you guys think. So, yeah. Also, we do an email newsletter every single Sunday, Saturday for you American people, and the rest of the world, since we're leading the world in time. We also do an email newsletter on Sundays/Saturdays, and you'll never miss an update from us. Thanks again for joining us. We'll catch you next time. Keep bringing the hype. Peace.
See you later.